As you may know, I have been using Linux for a while, and for any Linux user, they have the way to create their own bash script, because I believe most of people, right on the top of my head, are lazy to just do the same configs again in every time if they're going to reinstall the OS. So do I. So I have created the small script just for myself to be easier when I'm going to install Arch Linux, because I'm very bad with remember all the command and thing to download when I'm install Arch Linux. So I create a little script to make it easy for my life, and the script will be at the description down below. If you take a look at the description down below, but I'm going to show you where my script is. Or you just click the link at the description down below. You're going to head to this page. It's my GitHub page, and I call Simple Arch. In this repo here, I have a small setup script, and the command is easy for me enough because I just only type all the word in here into my terminal right after I install Arch Linux, and I have created the user. In my case here is Farook. Then when I run this command, I have to wait because I'm going to use this in my real life. So it will be slow, it will be mistake, it will be error during the time that the script is run, but I'm going to show you how do I fix that. So you are welcome to read everything in here because it's public. If you just click on the setup.sh right here, I'm going to show you. You'll see that I have a very simple script, and actually stupid too. If you read from the other people, this is the bad way to create the bash script. I have if command here, and you know it's not very good practice. So you can feel free to read everything in here before you even run the command, because you want to know what inside of the command here. And here I just show you. Alright, so the first thing that we have to do is just install our Arch Linux first, and I'm going to do it on Word Manager. I am assume that you already has download Arch Linux install ISO, and my Arch Linux ISO right now is in the folder called downloads. Now let's get started. Now to set up the Word Manager, let's do like this. You fire up your Word Manager. You'll see that I have practiced a couple times right here, and I have testing my bash script, and so far it's going very well. I don't see any problem so far. Now let's create a new one by click on this button right here, and then we have to find our Arch Linux ISO image. In my case here is in downloads, so I'm going to click on browse local and head to downloads folder. Now click open. It will be automatically filled in here. I don't have to do anything. I click on forward, and then I'm going to change here with 2048 with 2 GB, and the CPU will be 2 CPUs I give here. Click on forward. I'm going to keep the hard disk drive for 30 GB. Click forward, and make sure that you click on customize configuration before install, because we're going to use Grub, and there will be Arch Linux or the name that you want to name this computer or this installation. I'm okay with Arch Linux-2. I'm going to click on finish right now, and you see that I have another window pop up right here, and I want you to take a look at the hypervisor details right here. I'm going to change firmware from BIOS to UEFI. Make sure you do this, and then I'm going to click on the apply and begin installation. Now my guest machine is startup. I'm going to move this to the bigger screen. Even I move to the bigger screen, you'll see that the quality of the text is still very tiny. Now once you boot up, the installation will drop you at the root shell right here. The first thing that you may have to do is to check if your cell get internet connection. For my cell here, because I use it in the virtual environment, so I am sure that I have internet access right here. Now to prove it, just type the command ping google.com or any website you want to and hit enter, you're going to see the replies back right here. But if you're not, the first command that you have to run is iwctl. If you're going to use this on your laptop, iwctl is your first command to run. Now hit enter and it's going to drop you at the IWD. You're going to see the green color right here. The next command you're going to run is device list, and it's going to show you your Wi-Fi device. It can be WLAN 0, but I don't have any Wi-Fi in my virtual setup here, so I cannot show you. For the full installation of this, the link will be at the description down below. Go ahead and do that. I have more details about this. Now I'm going to quit out from here by typing exit. I need to go to the root shell again. Now that I know my computer has internet access, the command that I'm going to run now is time-ctl. I hit enter. You see that at the NTP service it says inactive. We have to active this. To make it active, you type in time-ctl set-ntp true and hit enter. If you issue time-ctl again, see what they change. NTP service active right now. The next command you're going to type is fdisk-l to see what is your hard disk drive. And looking at the first one under root, after the command fdisk-l, you'll see that my is the disk is /dev/VDA. So this one is my hard disk. If you use it on version box, that will be /dev/SDA. But if you install it on your laptop, it will be /dev/NVMe, or it depends on what type of your hard disk drive. So my ASUS, I have NVMe 0N1, that because the hard drive that I have is M.2. Now the next command you're going to run is cfdisk/dev/VDA. Remember, my hard disk drive called /dev/VDA with 30 GB. Now I'm going to hit enter and it's going to drop me at this page. I'm going to select GPT this time, and then I'm going to create the new partition. We're going to make 3 partitions in here. The first partition will be EFI boot. So hit enter. I'm going to type in 300 and capital M, hit enter. You can use the arrow key to navigate around. To go down, you press arrow key down. To go up, you press up. To go to the left, you press left. So you see that the menu is highlighted in type. We have to change this one. This is very important. Now hit enter and find EFI system. I hit enter again. You'll see that at the size type, I have EFI system. Now let's move down to free space and hit enter again. This time I need this swap partition. It's going to be 2 GB. Now hit enter. And now you move the cursor to type and then you hit enter and try to find Linux swap and hit enter. Now we have swap partition. Let's move the cursor to the free space. I'm going to hit enter and use the rest of the free space that I have right here. And then now move the cursor to the right command and hit enter. You have to type yes in here and hit enter. Now you move the cursor to quit and then hit enter. Let's quit out of that. Now you see that the device has /dev/VDA1, 2 and 3. Keep that in mind that the bigger partition now is /dev/VDA3. We're going to install our Arch Linux into VDA3, or /dev/VDA3 is the partition we're going to install. Now you have to format your disk. You type in is mkfs.fat dash f32 because it's going to be fat32 slash dev slash video1 is our boot EFI here. Hit enter. Now you're going to get the thing like this. And the next command is mkswap slash dev slash video2, and you're going to type in swap on slash dev slash video2, and the last partition, the big partition, you type in mkfs.ext4 slash dev slash video3. Now we're going to mouse the partition by typing mouse slash dev slash video3. Remember, we have to install our Arch Linux into this partition, the biggest partition. We're going to mouse that to mnt. Next, you type in mkdir slash mnt slash boot. We're going to mouse the partition 1 to mnt boot folder that we create here. Mouse slash dev slash video1 to slash mnt slash boot. Now let's type in lsblk. If you see something like this, you are good to go. You'll see that the video1 is mounted to mnt slash boot. Video2 will be a swap partition. Video3, which 27.7 GB right now, is mounted to mnt. The next command that we're going to do is packstrap mnt. We're going to install our Arch Linux right now, some package of our Arch Linux, and we're going to install it to our hard drive. It will be downloaded and it will take time. What do we need? We need base devel Linux firmware. Now let's hit enter. It's going to download the thing, and only this command itself took 15 minutes for me. This is really depending upon your internet connection. So my one is quite slow. I will be back when this command done. I don't know how long for your packstrap command, but for my one is more than 15 minutes. I promise you that, because I have a slow internet connection, because all the internet access that I have came from my mobile phone, that I have a Wi-Fi sharing from my mobile phone. So it's really depending upon how much you pay per month. So I pay just like $10 a month, and I have to admit that at least I have internet access for no limit, even though that it's quite slow, but it's okay for me. Now the next command we're going to run is gen fstab dash capital U. We're going to do it in dash mnt. You're going to type in double greater than sign. It's going to be in slash mnt slash etc slash fstab. To prove that this command is work, you delete from double greater than sign and just only keep the rest like this, and then you hit enter. You're going to see the information down here now. The next command will be archroot slash mnt slash bin slash bash. Now you'll see that my root shells is already changed. The color is not red color at all. And if I type in ls, you're going to see bin, boot, dev, etc., home, and so on. So it means right now we can run pacman to install package that we need, but I want to set up the language first. You're going to type in vim slash etc slash locale.gen, and what we're going to do now, I'm typing slash followed by en underscore capital US and hit enter. I'm going to press N one time, N two time. Now you'll see that I'm in en underscore US. I'm going to press H. That will go to the left. I'm going to press X. That will delete the hash sign. And I'm going to press slash and type in TS because I am Thai, so TH will be Thai language. I need this. Now I hit enter. If you're not Thai people like me, you don't have to. And then I press H, and then I press X. Now TH underscore capital th.utf is already uncommented. I'm done with this. I'm going to press escape colon WQ, hit enter to write and quit. Now let's run this command. Locale dash gen. We're going to generate this language. And we're going to create the new config file for locale by typing vim/etc/locale.conf. Hit enter, and you're going to put in here. Before you type in here, you press I, and I type the word lang all cap equal lowercase en underscore uppercase us dot utf dash 8. That will be all. Now I press escape colon WQ, hit enter. You also need the computer name or the host name. Type in vim/etc/host name, one word. Hit enter. I'm going to name my computer for Arch OS. You name yours. Now escape colon WQ, hit enter. Now if I type in date and hit enter, you're going to see that it's Tuesday, November 16 and almost 10 p.m. at night, which is wrong because I am now at 4 a.m. right here in Thailand. So it means that my time zone is incorrect. I have to correct this. And the command for that is ln-sf/usr/share/zoneinfo/ what is your zone? My zone will be AS, and then I tap. It's going to show Asia, and I am in Bangkok. It's going to be Bangkok like this, and you press space. That will be /etc/local time and hit enter. Now if I type in date and hit enter again, you'll see that I have Wednesday of November 17, and the time right now is 4 a.m. 5 a.m. actually. Now my time is correct. Next thing I'm going to do is create the password for root user by typing passwd, hit enter. I'm going to create a very long and complicated password for my root user. Is 1234, and you type in the same password again, 1234. Keep this in mind that anything that easy for you is also easy for any other people else too. So for my one, I make this on my virtual environment, so it's not going to be affect anything to me because after this I'm going to delete this machine anyway. Now we're going to create the regular user. In my case here is Farook. So what you're going to do is user add, or in one word, you're going to make a flag -mg because we're going to make home directory for this user, and we're going to put him into the group of view group, and his name is Farook. So this way you type your name. Okay, now let's give him a password by typing passwd and the name of the user. In my case is Farook, and I'm going to type in 1234 again. Now we have to make sure that Farook can access sudo privilege. With this, we're going to edit the etc sudo by typing vim/etc/sudoers. Hit enter. We're going to find the line say view by press slash and type in view. It's going to take you to this line already. Now you hit enter one time, and then you press J, and then you press Shift I. It's going to say insert W10 warning changing the read-only file. That will be okay. Now we're going to delete the hash sign here by press the right arrow key, and then you press the backspace. Right arrow key again and backspace. Now you press escape key, and then you press O to be on a new line, and type in defaults space exclamation tty underscore tickets. Now you press escape colon wq exclamation and then you press enter. This file right now is saved. Next we're going to install the package in here by typing pacman capital S and followed by the package that you want to install. So the package that I need now is network manager, and we need Grub, we need EFI boot mgr because we're going to install Grub. We need wireless tool, WPA supplicants. I want to make sure that I have Git. Dialog is the program to show the interface when you type in mntui right after you restart. Now let's hit enter to install this, and you have to press Y to confirm. Now before I forget, we have to make sure that we still have internet connection when we reboot. So we have to enable network manager. You type in systemctl enable network manager. Make sure that you capitalize N and M just like this. Now hit enter. Next we're going to install Grub by typing grub-install target equal x86 underscore 64 dash EFI dash directory equal slash boot space dash bootloader dash ID equal Grub. Make sure you type everything correct and then you hit enter. It should be no error. So the installation finishes, no error. That will be fine. Now let's configure Grub by typing grub-mkconfigs-o will be /boot/grub/grub.cfg. Now you see adding boot menu entry for UEFI firmware setting and done. So now your Arch Linux installation has done all the process, and we also have created user already, username Farook. Now we are ready to reboot, but before that you have to type in exit from the Arch root right now, and then we have to unmount everything by typing umount dash a capital R /mnt. We're going to unmount everything and now type in reboot. Now if you see this page load up, it means that you have successfully installed your Arch Linux. And believe me, if it's the first time, second time, third time, will be not easy. But if you have done this for more than 5 times, you get a lot more experience and you will do this very easy. I believe it's even easier than install Ubuntu. Now we have the user Farook. In my case, you maybe have yours, and type in Farook and hit enter, and his password is 1234. Let's hit enter. Now Farook is already logged in. To make sure that Farook can run sudo command, you type in this command sudo pacman capital S neofet, and I'm going to type -- needed, and then I'm going to type in the password 1234, hit enter, and I'm going to press Y and hit enter. Now it's going to install neofetch for me, and if I run neofetch, I'm going to get the image like this. So with this point now we are good to go, and the next thing I am going to do in order to using the graphical interface is just clone my script, and then I'm going to run that. Now you click on the description down below at the simple Arch, it's going to take you to this page, and you see this command. I'm going to run this command git clone https://github.com/farookphuket/ simple underscore arch dot get. Let's check again. Space nn cd tilde slash simple underscore arch space nn sh space setup dot sh. So what this command going to do is to clone the script from GitHub repo, is my GitHub repo, and then we'll change the directory into the directory called simple underscore arch in home directory, and then it's going to run the setup script. As I mentioned that you just feel free to have a look. What is the script that I wrote in setup.sh? Feel free for that. Now I know what is the script look like, so I'm ready to run it now. Just hit enter. And this is going to be your first graphical interface that you see. Now at this point, it will warn you that your username, this script will be run in your system, and it's going to take at least, I will say at least, because I'm going to install everything that I use in my real life. Now, if you press right arrow key to access, this will be accessed, will be nothing happen on you, but I have to make sure that the highlight will be on yes, continue. Now hit enter. You may have to put your password in here. In my case, my password is 1234. Hit enter. And now you hit enter again, and you type in Y and hit enter. Now you might have to put your password a couple times in here. Make sure that you stay near to your computer, because they need a several time to ask for your password and also the permission to install the thing. And as I mentioned that it will be more than 1 hour 40 minutes for the whole script to run, because I'm going to use this script in my real life, and I do set up my computer this way. You're going to see this kind of window a few times also after you install something, and all you have to do is press enter. Now the script will clone the icons for you, because by default after you install Arch, it will be just only Arch and no graphical interface. What we're going to do by this script is try to install or try to set the graphical interface, which means that you have to download all the package from the internet in order to set it up. And I have my own setup, so please feel free to read all the script. Every line of the code you're welcome to read. Now you have to press enter. It's going to clone the photos into the pictures wallpapers to make the wallpapers. Now you might need to hit enter again, and also you need to hit continue. You have to press Y, enter. This one will config ye is the AUR helper. You might have to put in your password again, and you press Y, hit enter. Now you press Y, hit enter. Y, hit enter again. Now press Y, hit enter. This will be set up the snapd. Press Y and hit enter. Oh, I got some error in my script. It say home Farook Arch Linux snapd.sh Parmac command not found. Okay, I'm going to check this out later. And right here you have to press Y and hit enter. And now you have to press Shift I to install, and press Y, hit enter. Press Y, hit enter. This going to install Bluetooth like Blueman, Blueberry tools, and I'm going to use GVim instead of Vim because I need some feature in GVim. So at this point it's going to remove Vim. I'm going to press Y, hit enter to remove Vim and install GVim instead. Now I press Y again, hit enter. Now you have to type in your password, hit enter. To install image writer, you have to press I and then you press Y again, hit enter. I put my password in and I type Y and hit enter to install the package. You see that I have error fail receive file. That because I have a problem with my internet connection, I think. So because the operation is too slow, so that why it cannot download the package thing. So anyway, I will check it later, but it will be not from the script. I believe this one is just only the problem of my internet. The IP table -nft and IP tables is conflict, so you have to remove IP tables. And I'll press Y and hit enter, and Y and hit enter again. This will install Word Manager. It's going to install version box now, and we use Arch, so we need to select 2. I press Y and hit enter. This is going to install PyMac, and I'm going to hit enter, and I'm going to press enter again, and enter again, and I press enter again. Now I press Y, hit enter, and I have to press Shift I to install. Press enter, press Y, hit enter. You maybe see error making PyMac tray icon plasma. It shows error, but it's actually PyMac is already installed and is ready for use. Now it's to install Font Awesome and Noto font. I press Y and hit enter. I'm going to press enter, and now I press Shift I, hit enter. Seems like I got another error in my script, so I have to check it again. Alright, now I'm going to press enter for OK, and then let's go to install another program called Audacious. This will install Google Chrome. Now I hit enter, and I'm going to press Shift I, hit enter, and press Y. Now press Y, hit enter. This will install Chromium and Firefox web browser. Now it's going to change the shell. I'm going to use CSH instead of bash. Type in the password and hit enter. Shells is changed. Now press enter. The last command is already executed, and if you see success, operation done, your setup had been done. Now please reboot the system. If I press enter right now, it's going to reboot my system, and the installation script that we have been downloaded from Git, it will be also removed. Now let's do that. If there is nothing wrong, it will be graphical interface will load after we reboot. Now if it's too much time on this and you see that I use 100% of CPU use, I think something problem with my Word Manager here, so I'm going to do force reset. And this is the proof that I use a very low spec computer to run all of this stuff, and it's not going to be complete because it seems like memory is not enough for me. So let me queue some memory in here. Let's see if it's going to work if I already clear the memory. Now let's start it up again. Okay, it seems like it's going to be work. And voila, let's do login. If it's success, and it seems like everything worked great. The script is run very well. Now let me make this full screen so you guys can see. It seems like we have a problem with our background, so let me press mod key. Mod key is a window key, and Shift R. See if it's fixed. Yes, it's fixed. Okay, if you press mod key D, it should be show the Rofi menu. Then you can type in the name of the program that you want to use, or you can just press the down arrow key to select the program that you want to use. Or if you have a look here on the bottom right, mod key D is show menu. Mod key F1 is to open Brave browser. So in Linux we don't have window, right? So the window key is mod key, that what I mentioned. Now let's press mod key F2. We're going to open Firefox. and it doesn't seem like Firefox will be show up. So let's type in here Firefox, and this is the proof that I'm using low spec computer. So it's not going to be work because now I'm recording the video, and also I use Word Manager, which is take a lot of the resources of the host, so it's really takes some time if I want to use this. So low spec computer, not good to do some stuff like this. But anyway, at least I have computer to use. Now you may be thinking, hey, this one is blink a lot. Actually, if you use it on your real machine, this would not going to be happen. Now let me do reset again. Up until this point, I spent 5 hours on set up Arch Linux in the way that I want to use. I am now be able to use my computer like whatever I can imagine of using my computer, this computer especially, and it's just Arch Linux PL using DWM, and the configs file will be inside of .configs, and as I mentioned earlier, everything here you can read the source code. Press mod key, enter, is going to open Alacrity, the terminal program, and you're going to type in cd /.configs DWM in my case here to see the configs file, and then you type in vi, hit enter. Don't worry about this error message, we're going to config it now. Press enter. If the next time you type in vi and you ever wanna see this error again, this is what you're going to do. You press colon and type in plug update, hit enter, because these configs need to download some package. If this takes too long now, you press colon q and hit enter just to quit this first, and then you type in vi again, hit enter to open it up. You see now error is gone, but we still need to do this colon and type in plug update, hit enter. This seems to be look better now. This moment you press space and cr, type it together, space cr in the same time, and then you hit enter and hit enter again. Now you press colon q and then you press colon COC, capital C the first one and capital I for install, COC install, space COC dash explorer, hit enter. So if this unsuccess, you just redo the command again, but if you see this, it means the installation has success. What you're going to do now, you press colon Q and colon Q again to quit this, and if you type in vi again, hit enter, now you never ever see the error message again. The configs that I'm tell you, it will be one of this file. Now you press Ctrl J and then you press colon Q to quit this. This is the first config file for DWM, and if you press space CT, it's going to open the file manager on the left. You press K and press L and then you press J, hit enter. It will show you the key binding that I use here. You can press J all the way down, or you can press Shift G to the end of the line, and you will see that it's just only 47 lines in here, and you can always binding the key as you wish. But the problem is you have to check the config.default.h, make sure that it's not conflict key, otherwise it's not going to be work. Now I quit this program Vim and I quit the terminal. If you take a look right here, this one is came from the script that called SL status. You open up the terminal and then you type in cd /.configs SL status and then you hit enter. When I type in ls here, you see that I have the configs.def here. We have to remove this configs first by typing sudo rm-rf.config.h and then hit enter. Let's remove this file, otherwise we cannot compile. Now type in vi, hit enter, and we need to open this file config.dev.h. You press Ctrl J and then :Q, hit enter. Now press Shift G to the very end of the line, and you'll see that we don't have a Wi-Fi, right? So let me delete this by press DD. It's going to delete this line, and I want to see what is the net transfer speed. But this one is the interface, so we have to check what is our interface name. So you press mod key and the number 2, and then you press mod key, hit enter to open the terminal. Then you type in IPADDR, hit enter. You take a look of your ENP1S0. This is your interface name, but your one will be different because now I use virtual environment, so that will be different. So you're going to copy this by press Ctrl Shift C, C Charlie, okay? And then you press mod key 1. Now we're going to pass what we copy. You're going to press I and then space, and then you press the left arrow key. Now you press Ctrl Shift V to pass, and we may have to delete WLP here by press V and then press L until it's highlight to the number 0, and then you press X. Here we good to go. Now you press escape :Q because it's auto save, and then we're going to recompile this by typing sudo make clean install, and you hit enter. This is going to recompile the script. We're not going to see any effect now unless you log out. So to log out, you press mod key Shift Q. Now type in the password, hit enter. You should see some change. You see now I only have a 0 right here, and if I open up, let me press mod key Shift R. If I open up Firefox, you'll see the number right here will be changed. To quit the program or to close the window, you press mod key Q. That will be very slow. Now my Firefox is open. To close the program, mod key Q. It will queue the window. So everything in here you can do configs. This one is called conky configs, and this file live in .configs dwm. Let's open up the terminal, and then we're going to type in cd .config dwm. Hit enter. This is the file. The conky file is this file. System overview. You just feel free to change the value that you need to fit with your screen, because conky will never be friend with any screen resolution. So make sure that you config it the way you want it to be. Alright, up until this time, if I am not cut this video off, it's going to be 5 or 6 hours to config the system in the way that I love to use my computer. Anyway, I just only have to do this once and never again until I reinstall Arch Linux again, and I can use all those scripts without remember anything much, but just only remember the way to config the thing. I hope you get some value from this video. Until the next video, thanks for watching. Goodbye.